Hello, welcome back to Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald.
On board.
And we are coming back to you with a rating video for our Vital Lacerda games. We did our individual ones. And now we just went through, did our review videos for each of the games. We have our Bald and Board Game official scores for each of the games for those reviews. And so we took those and did the same thing we did for ourselves and got our rankings based on that.
Yeah.
So they definitely vary.
Yeah, they definitely vary. So check out our first video we posted this morning, if you're watching this right when this video goes live, which will give our individual rankings from 8 to 1 for each Bald and I. Then check out the 8 different videos of the deep dive into all of them. For the end of this video, if you want to stick by a minute or so after, we'll show you the scorecards for each of those 8. So you'll be able to see exactly what each of us did in our Bald and Board Games total ratings. But now here is our Bald and Board rankings.
We'll start from
starting with 8th.
Alrighty. So number 8, we have CO2, Second Chance.
Yes. Well, I think a disclaimer we will say is although this is 8 out of 8, all 8 games got the certified Bald and Board Games must play.
Yes.
So none of these games were, let's throw it in the dumpster like Madara and try again. But they were all good games. Some were just significantly better than others. Only one of these, we can still say, did we have not only the same rating spot, but the exact same ranking. Same ranking spot, but the same ratings as well. Stupid words.
Yeah, we'll let you know what that one is when it comes up.
Yeah.
But yeah, CO2, Second Chance, is at the bottom of the pile for us, I think, mainly because of the cooperative aspect to it, as well as a couple of the other like five key indicators, probably like the story, stuff like that. But a big thing for us was definitely the cooperative aspect that brought it down a bit because it felt like the competitive and cooperative were kind of fighting each other while you were playing.
Yeah. So number 7 is On Mars. So this one, we both drastically had a different rating, I think on our own. But overall, I think the big deficit was there's a lot you can do in the game, but it kind of ends pretty quickly. Like there's a lot of space in the middle to do stuff, but you don't really utilize all that space.
There's a lot of potential things you can do, but you can't do a lot.
And there's one track, as we call out in our explanation video, where you want to push the track up, but then you also see the negative side of pushing this track up because it escalates things too fast. But it could benefit you. So like there's a little bit of clunkiness in the game. So it definitely fell down on our radar.
It did. Number 6 is Escape Plan. So Escape Plan is, I think it's suffered in partially its simplicity, I think, on one hand for board. For me, how restrictive it could feel in its round structure. I think that really helped bring this one down a notch on our average list amongst both of us.
And I would say those 3 towards the bottom kind of really were towards the bottom. The next like 4 are pretty similar in rating. Which next up in the 5th spot is Kanban EV. So this is where a futuristic factory you're building EV, electrical vehicles.
I think it's pretty like normal.
Or normal now. It was futuristic at some point in time. But you're building electric vehicles of different types and you're going through stages. The main hit here, at least for mine, was Sandra is not only impacting your movement, which is fine, that's a fun aspect, but also she controls one of the end game triggers, which was a big kind of hit to me where I'm like, I can't really play my game until she does her thing.
True. All right. Number 4 was Bot Factory. So funny enough, Bot Factory and Kanban are right next to each other in the ranking list because they're essentially the same game. Bot Factory is a way more simplified version of Kanban EV. It is just as fun. Bot Factory, I think, is one that's great for family, or friends that are newer to these types of games to get them into this style of game. I think Bot Factory would honestly be, out of all the sort of games that I know of and have played, probably the only one that's kid-friendly, probably just because it looks very kid-like, but you can play it as adults and really get some good depth of strategy in there. There's a couple things that held it back from being higher up the list, I think, for both of us there. But it's in a good spot, number 4.
Yeah, moving into the third spot is Vinhos.
Yes.
Vinhos is a wine-based game.
Yeah.
You have a vineyard, getting wine. Pretty fun game. We both like the design.
Yeah.
The big kind of hit towards Vinhos is there is a lot to do, and there's a bunch of different sections, and it's not necessarily always clear which section connects where.
It's true.
So overall, we still rated it very high. We love the game.
Yeah.
But that's what kind of held it in that third spot and didn't clear the top 2.
Yep. Number 2 is Weather Machine. So one of Vital Lacerda's more recent entries. It is a gorgeous game, albeit sometimes it can be a little busy on the eyes, but a lot of fun to play. It feels like you have a lot of freedom, ironically enough, because you only really have 4 choices to make when it comes down to choosing what action to do, but that just leads into combos on top of combos. And overall, I think each time we played it, win or lose, it was a blast to play, easy to get onto the table and to dive into and get cranking.
Yeah. And then holding the top spot is not only the number 1 game, it is number 1 for both Bald and I individually.
Yep.
And is the only Bald and Board game so far we've given a perfect score to.
Yeah, you got a 5 out of 5 on this one.
5 out of 5 in every single category because we do round down. So if any category is less than 5, it'd be knocked down a tier automatically.
Yep.
And that is Inventions. It happens to be the most recently released Vital Lacerda game, but it's perfect. Very clear rule book, super nice design of the game board and how it lays out continents and everything else. It's very much an age progression game where obviously each round is a new age, but also you're starting from civilization, Stone Age, and going through technologies and inventions and things like that, as the game says. And I think we both made the same comment. The name of the game is the game.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true for all of the others, but this is literally you're inventing things. And it works perfectly where to invent the alphabet, you need to understand words.
Yep.
No, to invent words, you need to understand the alphabet.
I got you.
But same thing. Like you have prerequisite requirements on things and it flows amazingly.
Yeah, and it has a very unique mechanic that I haven't seen in any other kind of game to where you are using what other people have done to further yourself. So you literally are like learning from each other to further your own inventions that you're trying to make for yourself. You're trying to gain that knowledge through them. And you can get ahead in the times or behind in the times. There's perks if you're ahead in the times. And as the eras flip over, knowledge that had to be learned now is known by everyone. So it keeps the pacing really well. It's just all around a very fun game to play. Again, win or lose. It's always fun. You don't really know who's going to win or lose until the end of the game. And then it's one of those games where the longer it goes on, it feels like you can do more and more, even though your choices never change. You're choosing amongst the same set of actions in those forums every single time, but based on your own inventions that you have, the knowledge that you know for your civilization, you can potentially chain and do more and more.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Phenomenal game. Overall, all of the Vital Lacerda games have been great.
They are. He is a master designer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And his artist,
Ian O'Toole.
Ian O'Toole, superb. I love it. I'm an illustrator myself, and that is one of my favorite parts about, the Vital Lacerda games is that artwork. So we are looking forward to Speakeasy. When Speakeasy comes in, we'll definitely have an unboxing of that. We'll have a rulebook rundown, and we'll obviously have gameplay for Speakeasy. We'll see if we can get some friends on with us now that we have an area where we can do that. And then we'll definitely get some of these other ones in the top spots, maybe those top 3, back to the table with some friends and, see how that goes.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So for the end of this video, if you hang out for about another minute, you'll see the scorecards for each of us for the 8 games we actually just called out. Definitely go check out those videos, though. If you've played the game, comment on those videos of your thoughts, if you agree with our ratings for each of the 5 categories.
Or disagree.
Yeah. And let us know what you think. If you utilize it as inspiration to buy a game or don't buy a game.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty. Thanks for joining us here at Bald and Board Games as we gave you our Bald and Board Games ranking of the Vital Lacerda games.
Yes.
I'm Bald.
I'm Board.
We'll see you at the table.